This is a video audit for Carly Sharp of BeautyRUs. Now, just to put this in context, I'm doing this audit on the 2nd of May, which is just a couple of days before Mother's Day. And as you can see, Carly's featured that here in her cover image, which I think is fantastic. She's promoting the Mother's Day special that she has coming up. The only concern I have with this is that it is more than 20% text, so it does actually contravene with Facebook's page terms, and this could be an issue if you want to do any form of promotion, because Facebook will take into consideration whether or not you're complying with all of their page terms in terms of whether or not they approve your ads. Now at the top of the page, which is just a little bit of out of screen for you guys, she's actually set her URL to facebook.com/BeautyRUs Carly. Now that's probably a good choice, because I'm imagining when you went to set up this page, which was quite recently, that BeautyRUs was probably already taken. So adding your name to the end of the URL was probably a good thing, because when people are searching for BeautyRUs and Carly turns up, then people are going to know that that's you, because you're the face of your business. Now I'm just going to take a quick look around the page. Just going down here, I'll start with what's been shared in the content. I love the way that you've pinned this to the top of the page. That's great. You should be doing this at least every 7 days, and you're keeping it timely in terms of the Mother's Day special. But sometimes you need to think in advance when you're posting things as to whether or not you are going to pin them to the top of the page. And if you are, then you might want to look at making the dimensions 404 by 404, or at least a square, so that it shows up and seeing all of the image there, because it's a bit lost there. We can't see that straight away. Going down a little bit further, we've got a good mix here in terms of the content that you're sharing. So we've got some images up here. We've got some videos here that are obviously relevant to your target audience, and then we've got again some more images, which I'll come back to in a moment. And you know, you're sharing some stuff in the local area, and it looks like you're posting on a fairly regular basis. We've got two here on the 9th of April, 8th of April, 8th of April, so a couple of times a day, and then we've got a little bit of a break sometimes. So we'll see you regularly doing twice a day, and then maybe nothing the next day. So what I'd probably suggest that you do is, on those days where you've got two posts that you'd like to share, is perhaps schedule one of them for the following day to ensure that you've got at least one post that is going out each day. But overall, that looks quite good in terms of the type of content and the mix that you're providing. I like the way that you've uploaded your price list here in terms of the things that you've got on offer, and that you've highlighted that post so it stretches across the page. It really brings attention to it when you scroll down the page. You can't help but see that. Now going back up to the top of the page here, I like that you've got your logo here, and a great logo that it is, that's following you around Facebook. So your actual full name's in there, so people are going to recognize you when they see this logo in the newsfeed. You could have put a picture of yourself as well. That would have been equally as good, because you are the face of the business and the person that's delivering most of the services. But as you grow, that might not be appropriate, because you might have additional consultants that are helping you out there. So this is you know, a good choice moving forward. I'd probably question this local business selection here, because what it does is, yeah, it gives everyone your phone number, so it's a great way for them to call you. But I would wonder whether or not you want people just to be calling you straight away, or whether or not you want to be pushing people back to your website. I notice when I click on this that it does take me through, and that you do have a website, and quite a good website as well. So if you were to pick another category, such as a consultant or something, you'd actually be able to have this showing within this About section here, with a call to action that might have something like, for all your beauty needs, contact Carly at BeautyRUs, and then have a link to the URL or something else. And you can change that up every now and then as well. You could even put in a link here that says Mother's Day special, with a direct link to your website where you're offering this Mother's Day special. Now just going back again to this page here, you could probably put a bit more information in here and make this a bit more conversational, and show a bit of your personality here, because if someone's booking you, and I know that you do go into people's houses to deliver a lot of these services, then they want to really get to know you. And so you show your personality here. Do it more in conversational language rather than just listing it out. But it is great that you've included the things that you do offer, so that you're going to be more easily found in search for those keyword terms that people might be searching for you. Great that you've included your hours of operation, particularly seeing as though it looks like you don't work every day of the week. So that's great that you're making that known to your clients up front. I also like that you've turned on the message feature. That's great, so that people can send you private messages, which is probably something people would like to do when they're talking about things like waxing. It's not something that they really want to post on your timeline. So that's a good thing that you've got that turned on. Now you do have events here, and I'll just click on this to have a look at the event that you've got coming up. It's an online launch for the new sugaring hair removal. Okay, let's click on this. Now, in looking at this, and we can click on see more to see more about this event. I read through this and I was a little bit confused as to what the event is and how I actually sign up to this event. You say it's an online event, but there's no link in here to actually tell me how I go about joining the event. So I'd include that in there. Now at the moment you've only got 8 people that have indicated that they're going. So I noticed that you've actually been posting things within here, which is great. You should be doing that whenever you have an event coming up. However, at the moment only a maximum of 8 people will be seeing these posts, and obviously I'm expecting that you'd want more than 8 people coming to your event, so you need to do a little bit more here to promote this. I see that you've invited it looks like a few of your friends that you invited to come, and you've got some people that are going. Now if some of these people are your friends, you might then send them a private message and ask them if they can invite some of their friends that they think might be interested, and also look at perhaps doing some sort of Facebook advertising where you're sending people to this event as the landing page so that they can join. Now if I go back to your page itself, I'd look through what you're promoting here, and it says that the recent activity that you created an event, and I'm not sure how recent that is, but you haven't actually been posting about this event very frequently. So if all you've done is create, here we go, on the 18th of April. So if you've created this event on the 18th of April and then invited your friends, it's really not enough. You need to be promoting this regularly on your page, and this can be something that you might just schedule for once a week. So when you create the event in the first place, then schedule when you'd like it to go out over time, and schedule it for different days and different times of days so that you're capturing different parts of your audience. Now looking back up here at, you've only got the events and obviously the photos, and I'll just have a quick look in at the photos. I often like to go in here and look at albums when I'm looking at people that are providing products and services. I think it would be really great for you here to perhaps sort these out into the types of products and services that you offer. So here it says salon photos, and let me look at this. It looks like it's mainly nails. So maybe you'd call this something to do with nail polish or pedicures, manicures, or something to that effect to attract people to that. And yeah, you've got a promotional and cover photo, price lists, timeline photos, quotes. So have a look at this and see how you might be able to better categorize these. And then there's not a lot of photos that have been shared, and obviously it's a relatively new page, but look to upload some more pictures in here. Perhaps some pictures of your clients before and after photos, those types of things where people want to come in and see the success stories of your business. Now, because you've only got the events and the photos app, this likes feature is prominent here. So I always recommend that you have some sort of lead generation app in here, so you can perhaps get people's email addresses so you can do some email marketing to them. And something like MailChimp's really easy to set up to be able to do that, and there's actually a training video within the Facebook Business Success program that shows you how to do that. The other benefit of having something like that is it actually buries this. 153 people is not a lot of people that like a page. It's already here. It's a prime piece of real estate. Really, if we can just put another app in here, most importantly, to get a form of lead generation, but also to bury this beneath the fold. So a little arrow will appear here when you have more than the 4 apps along here. So you actually probably need to do 2 more apps, and one of those apps might be something like a discount coupon, or you're asking people for an email address in exchange for some sort of offer. And that would bury it beneath. And the reason I say that is because if people click on this likes, it actually goes in and tells them They are limited statistics, but it still tells some statistics about your page. And if ever you're having a bit of a rough time when you're not performing too well, you probably don't want people to be able to see all this kind of stuff. And it's also a way that your competitors can come in and have a look at your page and, what your most popular age group is, how well your page is actually doing. So I like to bury that wherever possible. Okay, so going back to your page again, we're still talking about this likes here. Obviously 153 is a low number. I would look at, as a start for you, going in and looking at the build module on the Facebook Business Success Program and really starting to think, how can I build this number? Look at it, how you can do it organically, so inviting people to like your page. And if you've done it once, don't be afraid to do it again to those people that haven't picked it up the first time, or perhaps to any new friends that you've got on Facebook since you first did that round of invites. Share it in some of the groups, so share it in some of the local groups because you're a local based service provider. Then there may be people that are asking for those types of services, so join a lot of local groups and share your page regularly within the page terms, the group terms. Make sure you're not spamming the group, but really listen out for those types of conversations that are already happening around the products and services that you offer. And then you may look at doing some form of Facebook advertising as well, just to get that initial boost. If you can get these numbers and perhaps aim to get the numbers up around the 500 mark, well then you're going to find that you have far more success for your Facebook business page. So the priorities I'd set for Carly here is to really grow the page. I'd look at scheduling some updates and scheduling particularly that event, and looking at sharing content organically, because I know that BeautyRUs is a relatively new startup business. So Facebook advertising may not be within the budget at this point of time. So really hone in on what you can be doing organically, share valuable content, and through that encourage others to share your content so that you can start to leverage the viral nature of Facebook organically. So well done, Carly. I hope you find these tips useful. And please feel free to share any progress that you've made after implementing any of these tips in our private Facebook group, the Impact of 8 Business Community. I look forward to continuing to follow your Facebook business success.